We are joined by the coach of the Jackets. And by the way, we got another pair of tickets to give away for the Temple game on the 30th after we talk to the coach. That's a 4:30 kickoff on the C-Dub. But let's talk about Saturday and this upcoming game as Brent Key joining us on the Loud Security Systems Newsmaker line. Coach, congrats on another victory.
Hey, appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it.
So how's Haynes King doing right now, and when did you decide that Aaron Philo was going to get the start?
Haynes is doing well. We'll make decisions once we get into practice. He's expected to practice this week, and it was one of those things that was right up until game time beforehand. I mean, he'd gone through all the pregame warm-ups and everything, but when you got something that could be completely healed in a matter of in a short time, then if you do something else to it, now all of a sudden it's 4 to 6 weeks. I mean, look, I'm going to listen to the doctors. I'm going to do what they say when it comes to that, because that's priority when it comes to our players.
How are you feeling this morning about Saturday? Like, what was Saturday night when you went to bed? What were you thinking? Sunday, as you're looking at it again, what are you thinking, and what are you thinking today?
First thing is we got to get a first drive out the gate or a second drive out the gate, and then the devil in my head said, well, at least we're consistent in what we've been doing. But that's not the consistency I've been preaching and talking about. So, I mean, how to fix those issues, how to put us in position to be able to, that's one of the things, guys, the turnovers and, the penalties or whatnot, it has been such a cornerstone of ours. And we got to make sure that we continue to do that. But there's also a fine line you coach and not wanting the guys to be uptight and wanting them to go out and play. But no, that was extremely frustrating to me. I thought we left a lot on the field on Saturday, opportunity wise. It's whether it's offense, defense, special teams, all three phases. Look, the improvement doing what's right is expected. Our job as coaches are to correct issues and improve. So we had a long talk with the team about that last night. That look, you got to put yourself in a position that every time you're playing a play or playing a series or playing a quarter of football, whatever it is, regardless of who the opponent is, regardless of the time of the game, right? You're always practicing for something. All right, you're always preparing for something, right? And you got to ask yourself, hey, is this the best you can play? Right? Is this did that play right there? Is that going to help us win a game-winning drive? If the first drive of the last couple of games, or the second drive of the last couple of games, if that was a drive to win a game, would we have won? No, we would have lost because we turned the ball over. So you got to make sure that the kids they see it in that light as well.
All right, what about the weather stuff? When you have to, you get up, you have to come back down, you have to sort of, I don't want to say relax, but relax seems to be what you need to do and get it back up again. How much of a reality check is that for you seeing how these guys handle that part of their business?
Yeah, I mean, every time one of those things happen, you see how your team handles it. And I won't say adversity, but, handles wrinkles. And we talk about it all the time. And we try to prepare for it as much as we can, whether it's practicing in the rain, practicing in the weather, practicing in the cold, the hot, having things that aren't planned take place. And look, the team that handles those things the best is usually the team that ends up coming out on top.
Brent Key is with us on the Loud Security Systems Newsmaker line. We'll talk about Clemson momentarily, but going back to Aaron Philo, those 2 early turnovers, I like what you said. You told him now it's out of the way, go play football. I guess that's the type of mentality he has as well, moving forward and forgetting about what just happened.
Yeah, really that's the mentality you want on the whole team. And I told Aaron right before we went out, I said, look, hey, you're going to make mistakes out there. Everybody's going to make mistakes. Everybody in this room is going to make a mistake today. All right, put them behind you. All right, learn from them, put them behind you, and move on to the next play. Well, after that second series, he came off the sideline, and I trying to be in a calming manner, knowing my guts are ripping up inside. I mean, I forced myself. I smiled and said, man, I said, you sure are lucky, Aaron. You got your 2 big ones out of the way on the first 2 drives, so let's go play ball now.
Is there a reality to peeking ahead? And how good was the Colorado game in terms of focus for the entirety of the summer? I don't know if it's fair to ask a coach about peek ahead factors because I know what you guys are going to preach the whole week. You can't overlook anybody. Don't look at the game that's on the calendar 2 weeks from now. Do you know if you get that message across? Maybe that's what I'm asking.
the message as far as staying in the moment.
Don't look ahead.
I will say this. I think this is the most mature team I've had since we've been doing this now for 3 years. I think they handle those things better than any other team that we've had. But at the same time, guys, like, it's real, right? And I addressed the staff the same way. I was like, guys, I get it. We play Clemson this week. I said, but everything we do after a game has got to be the exact same, right? Because when you're looking at an opponent, whether you just played them or you're about to play them, right? You can't just say, hey, we're going to go faster this because we're going to get ready, game plan for Clemson.
Right.
Okay. It's got to be the same process every single time, and human nature does not allow that to be a natural thing for people. Everybody wants to flush it fast and move on, but you got to look at every game, whether it's a win or a loss, and how we're going to improve and what we're going to take from it, what we're going to correct from it. There's all sorts of things.
Yeah,
all sorts of it, man. I mean, look at whether it's the TV, the TV production, people at so many factors factor into this. And you're preaching it all week, and then the kids look up and like, oh, well, this didn't take place, or this didn't take place, or this is different, or there's less people here, or there's a different type of crew working together, whatever it is. So it's real, and we realize that, and we put things in place to try to keep their focus where it needs to be.
Yeah, I was going to say, not really sure how you can isolate them from that because they're going to notice things. They have their own two eyes. But looking ahead to Clemson, not really sure how much tape you watched as of yet. What do you take out of the fact that they fell behind but still found a way to win against Troy?
Again, I think, look, Dabo's been there for a long time, and the culture of his team is intact, and it has been for years. It's not surprising that they would come back and win the game last week. And I'm looking at personnel. I'm looking at schematically, what they're doing, how they match up with us, how we match up with them. Very rarely do I look at the score of a game or that how that works. I'm looking at the watching the film and the players, and they've got really good talent. They're well coached. They got some resiliency in them. I mean, it was last play of the game. In the first game, they ended up losing a very close one against LSU, and they're a good football team.
Yeah, the other part is they might have suffered from what we were just talking about in terms of a look ahead. And I know you're not speaking for them, but you just laid it out pretty clearly that there is a lot of human nature involved and stuff like that.
I'm telling you, it gets harder and harder every year with the kids, but I think the more that you can trust them and they can trust you that what you're telling them is the truth, the better buy-in you're going to have. But there's so many things out there that you can't control, so you try to control what you can.
All right. We got to ask about the Gardner-Webb thing 20 years ago. First of all, my first is, what do you wear as an offensive lineman going
For those that don't know, 20 years ago, Brent Key interviews to be the offensive line coach at Gardner-Webb.
What do you wear to an interview like that?
Golly, I think I had a if I had to guess, I would say probably khakis, boots, and probably a navy blue sport coat.
Yeah. So how do you think you did? Obviously not well enough, but...
Not good enough.
Yeah.
Not good enough at all. I mean, I didn't get the job. I was pissed.
Do they tell you why you didn't? Does anybody ever tell you why you don't get that job, or is it just you just didn't get the job?
They all say the same thing. We decided to go a different direction. You did a great job. We decided to go a different direction, though. We need a little more experience. We need more of this. I was like, all right. Now, I didn't know I'd be playing them 20 years later, but...
How good did it feel to get your revenge?
You are crazy, man. I mean, that came up in one thing. I was like, holy cow, I forgot I'd interviewed there. So, no.
How do you, hold on, let me go back. How do you even hear that Gardner-Webb is looking for an offensive line coach? Do you even remember?
You know what? I think if I had thinking back then, I would say probably Mac McWhorter, probably Coach Mac. I actually think it was Coach Mac. He knew the head coach there and called me, and I was a young first second year guy coaching, and they said they got a job that they're looking give them a call, or they gave me a call, something like that.
Tell me the truth. Did you even know where Gardner-Webb was before you actually interviewed for that job?
Yes, in Bowling Springs. In North Carolina, right?
Would you have known that 20 years ago, or was whatever like
no, I would have been Googling Gardner-Webb,
yeah, right?
Seeing where it was.
That's why I knew he had to drive there for the interview. I was going to say maybe the boots cost you, but you want an offensive line coach to be down to earth and wearing boots, so that could not have worked against you.
it might have been the fact they were, I don't know, maybe the boots weren't nice enough. Maybe they were scuffed up. And again, back then, the soles were probably falling off of them.
Do you even know who, did you know the guy who got the job?
Will Friend.
Hold on. Who got the job?
Pretty sure it was Will Friend.
Well, it worked out for him.
Were you angry about that, or?
I didn't even really know Will then.
Oh, okay. Was he a better candidate? I mean, if you really look back now, was he a better candidate maybe?
But I guess he was. He got the job. So, I mean, he was old. I guess it came down to experience, right?
You can go with that. Yeah, you were a young guy. You didn't really know what you were doing. I mean, seriously, did you know how to interview?
No, I was arrogant as crap. I didn't know how to go interview or anything. I thought they were going to, talk about play. They start talking about scheme and what you're going to do recruiting. I'm like, well, I had never really recruited. And, how am I going to put the runs together? Yeah, we're just going to run this play and this play. I mean,
yeah, for those that don't know.
Horrible. I wish somebody had a camera on it and filmed it.
Yeah, Will Friend is now the offensive line coach. He's bounced around at plenty of big programs. He's now the offensive line coach at North Carolina. So before we let you go, Chris Mooneyham, do you want to strangle him at times during halftime when he has those conversations and challenges you a little bit?
No, I love Mooney.
Thanks, Coach.
It's hard to find him sometimes on the field.
He is going to shoot you straight, though, right? I mean, he's going to ask you the questions that aren't going to be sugar-coated, so he's got that going for him.
No sunshine and roses out of me.
Yeah, like Saturday.
No sunshine and roses.
Well, hopefully everybody's laughing on Saturday and you're back on Monday for another Victory Monday because we know that Clemson has been a thorn in this school's side.
Yeah, we were just going to say we ran the numbers. I don't even want. Do you know what the average score has been? The last is it 9 years?
Hey, I think the better question is, do I care what the average score is?
Oh, look at you! I see what you did.
Turning the
You
tables
flipped that-
on us.
You flipped that very quickly. That's a great. If you had given that answer at Gardner-Webb 20 years ago, you would have got the job.
I probably would have. Probably need to be more of a smart ass back then.
All right,
But
Coach.
it's an early one. It's a 12 o'clock kick, so everybody's looking forward to obviously Clemson coming.
I don't want to put any pressure on you, but we're going to be in the building watching as well. So
taking notes.
Sweet.
Yeah, we will be there. We'll see you early.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right, Coach.
All right, good luck.
Congratulations.
All right, man. Thanks, y'all. Go Jackets.